All right. Fine. What is your career goal, girls? What is your career goal? Higher education, entrepreneurship, or employment? You can still use menti.com using this code. Yeah, I want to learn new things. No, what is your career goal? My next question is, what is your career goal? Higher education, employment, or entrepreneurship? Employment. Oh, wow. Higher education. Entrepreneur. Superb. Maheshwari. Very nice. Oh, that's great. I started getting answers on Menti too. Okay, graph is going up only for higher education. Employment. Okay, that's nice. But if you can try on menti.com, it will be really great. Employment, higher education. Singer. Okay, to get a government job. Nice. Very specific. Higher education, government job, employment, entrepreneurship. Nice. Oh, I have 1 response for employment and 3 responses for higher education. Can you see your screens on the screen? You do it on Menti. No, not on chat box. Come on, girls. We are all using online platforms. Let's not use this chat box. Outdated. Huh? Entrepreneur. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. Higher education 5, entrepreneur 2, employment 1. Come on. This is like a race now. Okay. 2 participants raise their hands. See all that you have. Okay. Employment 2, entrepreneurship 2, employment 3, higher education 6. Oh, fantastic. Nice. Very interactive audience. I'm really happy to have such wonderful audience. Okay, this is tough time. As you all know, it's 12:30. But still, I can see that kind of, zeal and involvement from your side. Really very happy to see this kind of involvement. Yes, good interactive session. Higher education is 8, entrepreneurship 3, employment 5. Wow, nice. Okay, someone says, I want to become a bank manager. Please put it on Menti, please. Menti. Okay. Whoa. Career goal, entrepreneurship 4. Okay, slightly it is increasing, entrepreneurship. How about higher education? It's 9. Okay, so far hardly, how many students have responded? Hardly 9, 18. Only 18 students have responded on Menti. Mentimeter shows only 18 responses. Okay. Employment, we have 6. Nice. Meanwhile, I'll admit everyone. Okay. Employment 7. Higher education is still on the same, that is 9. Okay. Great. Okay. Let this Mentimeter be. I mean, you can still key in your answers on the Mentimeter. Oh. Fantastic. So our girls have learned how to use Mentimeter. Fantastic. Nice. Menti link not opening. Arre ba. Okay, link has been shared, na? It's already there. Okay. Meanwhile, you keep trying on the Menti. Let's now get on to the next. Oh, employment is again on par with higher education. Okay, higher education is 10. Nice. Very nice. Let the Menti keep going. We will start with our session. Yeah. Menti results, we will see. We will definitely see. See, all that I got to know about my audience is, it's very difficult for us to know what you people want, right? So we are very lucky that we have, different platforms, online platforms, how we can interact and make our session more interesting. So all that I could understand about my audience is that most of them are interested in higher education and in employment. And yes, to a certain extent, entrepreneurship also. That's nice. See, whether it is employment, entrepreneurship, or, the higher education, I'm sure that the basic concepts are required at all levels, no matter which stream you select. It's very important for each one of us to be very good enough in our core concepts. Do you all agree with me, girls? Yes? Yeah, chat boxes, higher education, ma'am. Okay. Yeah, you can continue chatting. I mean, yeah, keep posting. Fine. So let's start with our PG coaching. So today's topic is functions of management. So functions of management, it is already known to you people. So very first thing I was thinking in the morning is, how do I teach something which already students know? You know, students are very smart, right? Then I thought, okay, let me introduce, and this being 12:30, 12:40, I'm sorry, I thought, why not introduce the topic in a very innovative way? Okay, let's see. Let's begin. This is the course content we are going to learn today. Basically, you'll be able to learn the planning function, the steps, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This is most interesting part. Okay. See, can you see the introduction here? See, these are, look at the 5 people who are working at ABC Limited. You have Mr. Logan Mario, you have Miss Rita Rachel, Mr. Jack Royal, and Miss Luna Cooper, and Mr. Barack Hatter. Okay, all these people are working at ABC Limited. Say hello to everyone wherever you are. Just virtual highs or hellos you can give. Okay. Yeah, Kavya raised her hand. She says hi. Nice. Okay, Mr. Logan Mario. Let's read about, yeah, a few more have raised. That's nice. Yeah, everybody is saying hello to Mr. Logan Mario. Let's see who Logan Mario is. Hi, I am Logan Mario. I am a member of the board of directors at ABC Limited. I am one of the people in the organization who are responsible for laying down the objectives and broad policies of the organization, it says, right? I also play a part in preparing the strategic plans and the preparation of department budgets, procedures, schedules, etc. I am responsible for taking into consideration available human and physical resources of the organization as to get effective coordination, right? So this is a very brief introduction about Logan Mario. Now let's see the introduction of, oh, he says hi. Hello, Logan Mario. Okay. Oh, the lady is still walking. All right. She is Miss Rita Rachel. This here is the introduction of Miss Rita Rachel. Hi, I am Rita Rachel. She says, I work as a human resource manager at ABC Limited. I am responsible for managerial function of staffing, which involves manning the organization structure through proper and effective selection, appraisal, and development of the personnel to fill the roles assigned to the workforce. I am responsible for motivating and identifying the training and development needs of employees. Okay, this is the role of Rita Rachel. So let's have a quick introduction on Mr. Jack Royal. He says, hi, hello. Hello, I am Jack Royal. I work as a project head in operations department at ABC Limited. I am responsible for execution of plans of organization in accordance with the policies and directives of the organization. I also take care of the coordination of the activities within my department. I am responsible for classifying the authority as well as for the coordination between authority and responsibility. So here's a quick update or an introduction. And then next we have, yeah, Miss Luna Cooper. Oh, she too is walking. Hi, Miss Luna Cooper. Hello, I am Luna Cooper. I work as a manager in operations department at ABC Limited. I am responsible for controlling function, which includes verifying whether everything occurs in conformity with the plans adopted, okay, and instructions issued and principles established. I ensure that there is effective and efficient utilization of organizational resources so as to achieve the planned goals. I am responsible for measuring the deviation of actual performance from the standard performance, discovering the causes of such deviations and help in taking corrective action. Okay, she's in charge for control. Okay. Now let's meet Mr. Barack Hatter. Okay, Mr. Barack Hatter is not waving his hand. Anyways, we will do it for him. Hi, my name is Barack Hatter, he says, and I am a supervisor at one of ABC Limited steel manufacturing plants. I am responsible for assigning of jobs and tasks to various workers at the plant. I guide and instruct the workers for day-to-day activities, and I'm responsible for the quantity as well as quality of production. I ensured that discipline is maintained among the workers at the plant and communicate worker problems, suggestions, recommendatory actions to my managers. Okay, this is the role of Mr. Barakhater. Now, having said this, so what did you understand? I mean, you have seen all 5 people, their introductions, right? So all these 5 people, they are managing the functions of ABC Limited. Okay, they are the ones who are, performing all the managerial activities in order to have a smooth running of ABC Limited. So what do you call when it is, what do you call these functions? What did they do? We have seen one of them is setting up plans. One of them is performing some other activities like setting up of standards and then seeing to it that standards are being met. So what exactly are they doing? So let's have a quick question on Menti again. Yeah, go to Mentimeter. I'm going to share my link with you people. Oh, wait. Where's the link? Okay, what are the different functions? My question to you is, what are the different questions? Let me open the chat rooms. I want you all to, okay, controlling, nice, planning, superb, very nice. Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, let us see, okay, previous question, okay, 12 people have said employment, 6 entrepreneurship, and 15 higher education. That's nice. Let's now go to the next question. I asked you all. Management, okay, management. Yeah, functions of management. Okay, you have 60 seconds with you. Use Menti, use the code that is there, 68411-368. Okay, use Menti to answer this question. Okay, the code is 68411-368. I already see messages flooding in my chat box. Oh, fantastic. I have a wonderful crowd. Okay, 36 messages. Organizing, planning, PodsCorp, fantastic. Okay, can you tell me who has given this PodsCorp? See, I'm sharing you the code of Mentimeter, 68411-368. Okay, I'm sharing this with you people. Yeah. Fantastic. Planning, organizing, controlling. Super. Nice response. Communication. Fantastic. Okay. Now, who is the one who has given this PodsCorp? One of them have said, it is PodsCorp. Who's the one who has given this word? Abbreviation. Acronym. I'm sorry. Yeah. You can use Mentimeter, girls. Again, you will, chat box, enough. Old ways. Purane tarike nako. We want latest technology. Huh? Generations. Come on. No. Okay, very good. Fantastic. Galik Luther. Very nice. Manasa. Virtual applause for you. Okay. But what about Mentimeter? Mentimeter. Okay, we still have people joining into the class. Okay, anyways, I've admitted them. Yes, use Mentimeter, girls. Use Mentimeter. Mentimeter 68411-368 is the code. You can see it on the screen. Go to Mentimeter again. Go to Mentimeter. Come on, girls. Go to Mentimeter. You can find this question on Mentimeter. What are the various functions? Functions of management. Go to Mentimeter. No, enough of chat. Menti.com, use the code 684111368. Okay, 22 have started, I think 21. Anyways, I think we'll look into this Mentimeter. Meanwhile, you try to figure out how you can get into Mentimeter and then give your responses. Fine. Yes, I have good amount of answers in my chat box. I have planning, organizing, okay, staffing, PodScorp, fantastic. Fine. Yes, you all are correct, my dear friends. All these are different functions of management. Very good. Very good. A virtual applause for all of you. Yes, according to Luther Gulick, okay, he's the one who has coined this word, who has given the keyword, that is PodScorp. Okay, now PodScorp, what exactly is PodScorp? This is an acronym, girls. You know, P stands for planning, O stands for organizing, D stands for directing, S for staffing, C for coordinating, R for reporting, and B for budgeting. Okay, now let's see what planning is all about. Now, what is planning? Planning is nothing but, you know, deciding in advance, or it is future oriented, girls. It is like deciding in advance, like what to do or when to do or how to do. When I was assigned this topic, okay, yesterday I was thinking like what exactly I have to do. The kind of timing that I was given was 12 o'clock. How to engage my students? That was the biggest question. Okay, that is how to do. Huh? So Menti platform is one, chat box is one, yes. And then when to do, obviously the head office has assigned certain timing for us, and then we could roll out this PG entrance coaching. So yeah, so when we have all these things put together, like what to do, how to do, when to do, and who is to do it, okay, that's when we call it as plan. So planning, it's nothing but, you know, where we actually are and where we go, where we want to go. I mean, that's it. It bridges the gap between where we are and where we want to go. Again, it includes, various things like, you have objectives, then you have rules, procedures, projects. Okay, maybe in higher classes you will be having that. Let's see what are the features of planning. Now, what are the different features of planning? It is future oriented, isn't it? It is future oriented. Now, whenever you plan, you don't plan it for yesterday. Do you plan for a day which is already been over? No, right? You actually plan it for the next day. I mean, next day, or maybe a coming week, or it is future oriented, or coming year, right? So it is future oriented. Planning is always future oriented. And it's a mental exercise, don't you think? Do you plan when you go out for dinner with your parents, or do you plan when you actually want to go for a movie? Yes, we all do plan, isn't it? Similarly, even organizations, they do plan. Okay, and where is this planning activity happening? It is in the at the psychological level, at the mental level, isn't it? So planning is a mental exercise. It involves choices of alternatives. Okay, I want to go for a movie, and how is that I will go? I mean, what is the means of transport that I have? Okay, I can go by bus, I can go by car or cab, or anything, right? Maybe a two-wheeler or four-wheeler or whatever, or maybe by walk if it's very close, right? So basically, you have different courses of alternatives. Now, planning involves choosing of one of the alternatives that you have. That is, planning involves choices of alternatives. And then similarly, even organizations, they have different choices with them. Okay, whether they have to, get into manufacturing of clothing or books or cell phones, or what exactly they want to do is the question. Okay, when we say planning, it involves different courses of alternatives. So planning is, it's a continuous function. It's okay, today I plan. So tomorrow, is it done? No, it's a continuous, it is ongoing process. It is a continuous function. It is all pervading. Everywhere you will find planning happening. Okay, at all levels of management. What are the 3 levels of management we have? Chat boxes, please. Chats. 3 levels of management. Yeah. High level. Okay. Top level. Huh. Only top level. Middle level. Okay. Middle level management. Fine. Fantastic. And lower level management. Oh, very good. See, all are knowledgeable. You don't need any coaching as such. Huh. Very nice. Okay, okay, okay. You can stop here. Yes, yes, yes. Enough, enough. Oh my God. Very interactive. I must really appreciate the audience. Okay, fine. Because at every level of organization, it is all pervading, and planning is always directed towards the efficiency, towards the goal. When I say efficiency, it means something beyond which is expected. 2 plus 2 is 4. No, ma'am. 2 plus 2 is 5. That's efficiency, right? Okay. Then next we have steps in planning. What are the different steps in planning? See, first, before we plan, or before an organization plans, all that they have to do is first they have to define their objectives. What exactly the objective of the organization is, that needs to be determined. And then the next step would be to develop a planning premises and have alternative courses of action. Like I have plan A, B, C, D. All these A, B, C, D will be evaluated, and finally, one of the best alternative will be chosen, right? So that's how planning is done. Okay, I still have people wait in the waiting room. Okay, what are the different advantages of planning? See, it focuses on the desired objective. Now, see, different organizations have, different objectives, right? Now, each organization has a different objective. Yes, maybe, obviously it will be like, for like profit making, to capture new markets. It can be anything. So when we say objectives, whatever our objective is, our planning should be directed towards that, right? So planning basically it focuses more on objectives, on the desired objectives, and it helps in minimizing risk. See, if plan A fails, okay, the manager will, because manager has already evaluated in the steps of planning, you have seen, right? You have plan A, B, C, D. What if A fails? Okay, you have a business contingency plan, BCP. You have plan B, you have plan C to exercise, right? So it actually helps in minimizing the risk. I mean, planning will help in minimizing the risk. Okay. Next is it improves efficiency. Now, why does it improve efficiency? Efficiency, I said, right? Like when if 2 plus 2 is 4, then 2 plus 2 can also be 5, right? That means going beyond the boundaries, going out of the box, contributing more towards the objectives of the organization. Fine. It avoids confusion. See, if we have clearly defined, predetermined plans, it will avoid a lot of confusion. It encourages innovation and creativity. Yeah, it encourages innovation and creativity. Why innovation and creativity? Because as long as we have a well predetermined plan, everything we can make use of the best of technology. We can use the creativity. Okay, everything if well planned, we can make use of all these. I still see people joining the class. Anyways, it enables cooperation and group work. It serves as a basis of control. Okay, if why are we saying control here? See, what is control? If it is not going according to the plan that has been laid, okay, if there is some kind of deviation, right, then what can be done? Again, we can take the necessary corrective action to see to it that it is going as per plan. Fine. So that is advantages of planning. Limitations of planning. See, we do have, see, when we are saying planning, it is future oriented, right? It is only an estimate. It is not actual. Okay, it is not accurate information that we think of. Okay, we plan for something, but something else happened, right? Now I planned for Menti, but still I got answers in chat box. That's fine as long as it's serving the purpose. But so everything that is one of the limitation. That is lack of accurate information. Is like when we are planning, we may miss out certain key information. Time consuming, yes, planning is a time consuming process. However, with this we cannot just do away with planning, because planning being the primary function of management, it is essential. Next, expensive. Yes, it is expensive because you need a lot of experts working on that and then drafting the plans. And then once the draft is revisited by the authorities, again, it will be reworked on. And finally, you will have a full-fledged plan. It is expensive stuff. Rigidity due to strict compliance with plans. Okay, when we say plan, we try to stick to our plan, isn't it? We feel very rigid. We don't want to change our ways. So that is one of the limitation of planning, girls. Like there's a lot of rigidity involved. Like it should be more flexible. So that's a limitation. Unwillingness to people change. Okay, now people want it. The organizational workforce or people working in the organization, they want some change, but plan doesn't allow them. I mean, everything has to be on par with what is being planned, right? So that's again a limitation. External limitations, it can be political or social or economical or natural. Any kind of such external limitations may also prevail. So that's once again it's a kind of limitation in planning. Okay, you can see all these people coming together. ORGANIZE. Oh, nice. Yeah, what are they actually doing? See, actually what organizing is, according to Henry Fayol, to organize a business means to provide it with everything useful to its functioning. Okay, that is the raw materials, tools, capital, and personnel. If you divide these things into different types of resources, you can also call them as physical resources, human resources, and financial resources. Now here I'm saying raw material. Now what is raw material? It's a physical resource. Tools, physical resource. Capital, financial resources. Personnel, that's nothing but your human resources. So when we all organize, what is organizing? It is nothing but bringing all these resources and seeing to it that they are effectively utilized in order to meet our objectives, predetermined objectives. So there's another definition given, that is process of dividing work and grouping the activities, assigning duties to individuals for attainment of these objectives. Let's discuss about different steps in organizing. Now, what are the different steps in organizing? The very first one is identifying activities. Let's say, for example, see, we have this webinar happening, right? This PG coaching happening. We have a person who is responsible for, we have a person who is responsible for creating a link. We have a person who is responsible for delivering the content. We have some more people who are working at the back end, that is our audience, who are responding and being involved. So what do you see here? I mean, what exactly do you find here is different people are performing different activities, right? Similarly, even in an organization, you will find different people who perform different activities. Even in the example which we have seen in the beginning, we have seen those animated people, right? We have seen Rachel, we have seen Barack, right? So in that example, you can see that each one of them is performing one particular task, right? Now, what exactly is this? This is nothing but the organization will identify certain activities, and what they do is they will group them. Okay, if a carpenter wants to make a beautiful furniture, then certain section of people will be, assigned the work of cutting the wood. Certain section of people will be assigned the work of, smoothing it. Another few people will be working on, sticking the laminate, and some more people, they may be involved in, fabricating it, or, seeing to it that all the nuts and bolts are fixed. So here the work is to the objective here in our example is to have a good furniture, ultimately to manufacture a table or whatever that furniture may be. So here all the activities are being grouped into different tasks, and then they are being assigned to different people. And then you have a manager who is delegating the authority and fixing responsibility of each individual. And also, it is a responsibility of the manager to coordinate all these activities. So these are the different steps in organizing. Next, importance of organizing. Why do we have to organize our work? Very simple. See, if one single person has to cut the wood, okay, he will go to the jungle, he will cut the wood, and then he'll get it home. Then he will chop it off, he will make a few sheets out of it, and then he will fabricate them. He will put laminates, he himself will do every work. Then obviously the efficiency level of that particular person will reduce, right? If each one does all the jobs that are there, then it will obviously reduce, right? So in order to have a sound organization which is moving towards growth, which is moving towards its objectives, it needs proper organizing in the company. In order to optimally utilize the human resources, okay, depending upon the kind of talent that they have, okay, so all these, in order to have the optimum use of human resources, also organizing is important. Some people may be very good at speaking, some of them may be very good at drawing, somebody may be in your class, okay, some of them may be very good at dancing, or maybe Zumba or something. If each task is being identified and it is grouped, a group of few students are identified and grouped, and then an activity is assigned to them based on their talent, obviously they will give their best. Don't you think so? Similarly, even in organizations, if there are certain tasks which are related to, HR related activities, which are related to finance related activities, or production related, then you have, accountancy related, you need different experts working on them, right? So in order to have optimum utilization of human resources and matching the work to the talent that they possess, to the qualification that they possess, it is very important for having good organizing skills. Okay. Next is maintain good harmonious structure in the office. Now, once it is properly grouped, okay, and assigned, we have different departments, like we have department of human resources, we have department of purchases, we have department of finance, then we have what you call research and development. Each activity is being given to each one particular department in the organization, right? So it forms a harmonious structure, right? In order to maintain good harmonious structure in the office, organizing plays a very important role. Next is group activities. Okay, whenever there is a group activity which is equivalent to the social structure of the organization, again, organizing is of utmost importance. And very importantly, when we are seeing grouping, it means the grouping is done based on the talent, based on their qualification, based on their skills. Okay, we call it as KSA. What is KSA? K means knowledge, S for skills, and A for aptitude. The kind of aptitude or attitude they have, the kind of skills that they possess, the kind of knowledge that they possess. Okay, the activities will be divided and then it will be coordinated by the manager. The next important function in staffing is, the next important function in management is staffing. Now, what is staffing? Staffing, it purely deals with human resources. Okay, you can see this GIF on your right hand side. Okay, they are waving their hands. Yeah, they are waving their hands, right? So what is it all about? It speaks about staffing is basically it is concerned with the human resources. Okay, it is concerned with acquiring human resources. It is concerned with developing human resources, and it is concerned with utilizing the existing limited human resources to see to it that the objectives are met, to see to it that our goal is met. Now, what is the goal of an organization? We already have certain stated plans, right? Under plans, again, we have something called as MOST, MOST, that is mission, objectives, strategies, tactics, right? So whatever the mission of the organization is, that needs to be met. In order to meet the objective, we need to have right person in the right job. So staffing deals with this aspect. It is a process of matching jobs with the individuals to ensure that the right man is, engaged in for a right job. Now, having said that, let's see what are the features of staffing. Okay, I can see our audience are pretty silent now. So just to engage them, I would like to know, division of work, top level management, middle level management. Okay, yeah. Can you all tell me what staffing is? Quick, one word answer. Fast. Chat boxes, please. Staffing. What are the different activities that you see in staffing? Employees, okay. Activities. What are the activities? Recruitment, superb. Deepika, recruitment of employees, staffing. Okay, issues discussed, supervising. Dealing with human resources, fantastic, Maheshwari. Yes. A virtual applause for all those who have communication between top level and middle level. Acquiring, developing, supervising. Right person in right place. Oh, fantastic. Supriya has answered. Bhanu says staffing means recruitment. Okay. Yes, you're correct, Bhanu. It's not just recruitment, but also, selecting the right person, training and developing them, then fixing financial compensation for them, appraising them periodically whenever there is a requirement, and selecting people. Yes, giving current job to current person. Yes. Maheshwari, you're correct. Yes, this is what staffing is all about. Nice. I'm really happy with the audience. Oh, it deals with the right person at the right job. Yes. Nice. Okay, I can see that people are, still awake. Okay, I have a few more minutes to go, 20 minutes more. I want the same tempo, the same momentum in the audience. Yeah. Again, staffing is all pervasive function. It is concerned with human resources, and it is an integral part of the management, right? So yes, these are certain things which we have already seen in the definition. Let's move to the next aspect, that is different steps in staffing. Okay. Now, what are the different steps? Like before you actually recruit, most of them have said the recruitment and selection, right? Before you recruit a person, we need to first plan how much existing resources do we have, how much existing human resources do we have, and what is the projected amount of resources that would be required in future, right? And do the skills that are available at our end with our employees, are there enough? Okay, if you ponder on all these aspects, you can see all the steps which are there on the screen. That is nothing but manpower planning, right? So before an employee is recruited, first there has to be a human resource planning. First, there needs to be a plan. Okay, when is that the production is going to start, and when do we need those people being employed, right? So there needs to be a consolidated plan. So the very first step is manpower planning. Second step is recruiting. Now, what is recruitment? Recruitment is nothing but stimulating an idea in the people to apply for the job, right? And selecting is once people, once the prospective employees they get selected, they need to be placed, right? So that's regarding placement. Training and development, both the new employees and the existing ones need to, revisit their skills, right? So we need to be updated with the kind of technology that we have. It's not just in organizations, but with teaching, with education, as a student, as a teacher, as in organizations, everywhere we need certain amount of training and development, right? So this aspect is being taken care by staffing. Next is performance appraisal. Yes. Who doesn't actually wait for performance appraisal? Tell me. Everybody wants a bonus in the end of the appraisal time. Yes. Once you are into jobs, will you expect some hike in your salaries? Say yes, no, something in the chat box. Hike, yes, ma'am. Oh my God, who doesn't want? Anybody know? Oh, yes, ma'am. Everybody wants, right? Yeah. How is this, how will the performance be appraised? Okay. And who is going to do that? And what is this function? Under what kind of function we can categorize this? This is nothing but staffing. This is one of the step in staffing. Yes. Performance appraisal. We have different types of appraisal. We have 360-degree appraisal. We have, top to bottom approach or bottom to top approach. And then we have various such methods. However, all that we have to know now from the examination point of view is appraisal is also a part in staffing. How about promotions and transfers? What do you do after appraising? Either you give some monetary benefits to them, or you give certain amount of, an elevation to their career in the form of promotion, isn't it? So promotion is a result of the appraisal, we can say, right? So promotion is also one of the steps in staffing. Next is employee remuneration. Like each one of us want to, be remunerated. Anybody here who wants to work free of cost? Yes, ma'am. Huh? Okay, I can see chat. No, ma'am. Oh, it's very smart. See, my girls, commerce students are very smart. Very commercial. No. Somebody says big no. Okay, no. See, very commercial. Beta, we are learning commerce doesn't mean that we have to be commercial. Okay, no. Capital N. My God, no, ma'am. Obvious no, ma'am. Okay. No way. My God, Supriya says no way. We have to be remunerated. Yes, I do agree. We should be remunerated, right? So, yes. So, steps in staffing. Yeah, thank you so much for interactive session. Yes, steps in staffing. No. Oh my God. I see the chat box fully flooded with messages. Nice. So employee remuneration. Next, yeah, I have 15 more minutes. I still see people joining. Okay, admit all. All right. Let's move to importance of staffing. Why do we need, why do we need staffing? Why this function is so important? See, it will help in, discovering and giving a right opportunity to a right person. What if Virat Kohli was in Dhobi Ghat? We have seen one advertisement, right? What if Virat Kohli was in Dhobi Ghat? Okay, it will not suit his position, right? He is the one who has led the cricket team. Okay, that means India has very correctly they have identified the people who are suitable for the position, and then they have delegated that task, right? So it's like discovering and obtaining competent employees for various jobs, right? It improves the quality and quantity of output by putting right man for a right job. That is what I was telling right just now. What if Virat Kohli is, into teaching job? Okay. What if Neha Tank is into cricket? Oh my God, India will lose, man. Anybody interested? Anybody wants me to play cricket? No, I'm very bad at cricket. India will lose, right? So yes, that is, yeah, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not good at cricket at all. Okay, we want Virat Kohli to be as, yeah, fine, nice, interactive audience, fine. Okay, I can still, I'm happy that you people are with me. Yes. So basically, it is putting right man for the right job. Then it improves job satisfaction for the employees. See, if I'm interested in teaching, obviously, if I'm placed somewhere in the corporate or in cricket, I wouldn't be happy, isn't it? Or maybe I'm interested in HR related activities, but I'm put into production department. I won't feel happy, right? So the skills and attitude or the knowledge of the employee should be assessed, and then they have to be put in the right place. If a particular employee is a qualified chartered accountant, you cannot place him in production department. You have to place him in finance department, right? Or maybe in accountancy. So job satisfaction of the employees is it improves the job satisfaction of the employees if we have a good amount of, I mean, if staffing function is well done in the organization. It reduces cost of personnel by avoiding waste of human resources. And then it facilitates growth and diversification, it says. Obviously, when we have people who have certain skill sets, okay, who are very good at certain things, then obviously we will have, diversified, or the growth will be more. When we have different experts working on the same, working in the same organization, handling different activities, okay, who are well aware of the task that they have undertaken. That means right person being in right job. Obviously, the company will grow and diversify. The next function is directing. You can see a policeman here. What is policeman doing here in my PPT? Yeah, any guesses? What is he doing, girls? Can you see a police? Oh, he's saying, stop, stop. Come. Yes, ma'am. Interesting. Yes, you all can see. Yes, ma'am. What is he doing there? Giving direction. Super. Very good. Vijaya from, yes, yes. Jagityal. Commanding, directing. Okay, controlling. Nice. He's directing. Yes, yes. Showing something. Commanding. Giving directions to passengers. Wow. Nice. Yes. Controlling. Super. Stopping. Okay. Controlling. Controlling. Okay. Okay. Fine. Nice. Yes. Chat box are all filled with the very much correct answer. Every answer is a correct answer in my session. There is nothing like wrong answer. You can, yeah, I can see some more 7 chats. Controlling, ma'am. Controlling or directing? Okay, showing directions, directing. Okay, controlling. I'll come to the controlling part. Very interesting it is, controlling. Okay, directing. Yes. Some more people are joining. I admit all. Fine. Here it says again, directing. Directing is one of the function of management. Okay, it is also known as commanding or actuating. Okay, as you all have quoted very rightly, this person, this particular, traffic police, he is directing the passengers, or he's directing, and some of them have said controlling. Okay, fine. So directing is said to be a process in which the managers will instruct and guide the performance of their workers for achieving the predetermined goal. See, whatever the goal is, if somebody needs to direct, isn't it? So somebody needs to tell, no, this is the way that you have to move on the road. No, this is not the time when you have to move. There is a red signal there, right? If somebody is not wearing a helmet, what will he do? Chat box. Yeah. If somebody is not wearing a helmet, what will happen? You will end up paying challans, isn't it? Right? You'll end up paying challan. You'll end up paying, you'll be penalized, right? So see, directing is said to be a process in which, this particular, what do you call, the policeman, he is directing the, the traffic, the ongoing traffic that is there, right? And he is directing people to wear, to be safe, to wear helmets, right? Similarly, even in organizations, you have managers who perform this function called as directing. Okay. Planning, organizing, and staffing, it has no meaning unless if it is properly directed with an able manager, right? So directing function is very important. Direction consists of process and techniques utilized in using instructions and making certain that operations are carried out as planned. Okay, and that's about directing function. Okay, what are the different characteristics? It is again all pervasive. It is available. You will find directions being given from superiors to subordinates at all the levels of management, right? You will find it in top level, and you'll find it in actually it is top to bottom approach. You have two approaches, right? One is top to bottom and bottom to top. Now, how does communication flow? If you have some circular or notice, it flows from top to bottom. If there are certain suggestions or certain requests that are to be done, it is from bottom to top, right? So similarly, even if we see these approaches in direction, you will find that this is top to bottom. Okay, I as a lecturer, I cannot direct my superior or my boss, right? Maybe I can suggest something. So it is a top to bottom approach. Okay, my superior will direct me, right? I will direct my students. I will suggest certain things for me, right? So that's how it goes. Similarly, even in organizations, you will find manager performing direction, and it is all pervasive. It is at all levels of organization, that is at top level, middle level, and at bottom level. Next, you can see that it is a continuous activity, girls. Now, why it is continuous activity? Why is direction a continuous activity? Is it all done? What will happen if the traffic police is directing once and next time he will doze off in his cabin? What will happen? There will be traffic jam. There will be all chaos and confusion, isn't it? Nobody knows how to move, right? So it's a continuous process. He keeps directing throughout the day. Poor fellow. During pandemic, off the pandemic, every time, all the time, right? So similarly, even in organizations, direction is a continuous process, right? It flows throughout the organization continuously from top level to the bottom level. Next, it is related to human factor. Now, why are we saying human factor? Because here direction is given by two section of people, right? One being the superior and the other one being the subordinate. Okay, so it is more to do with human beings, right? So that is human factor. Creative activity. Now here, obviously, it is something which we need to act on, right? So it is an activity, something which needs to be performed. So that's an activity, creative activity. Executive function, yes, as already discussed, it is a function which is carried on by all the managers at the top level. Okay, they are the ones who will direct, right? And then delegate function, directions are, again, it will be delegated. Again, all the delegated people will have to move towards the same common goal of the enterprise, like whatever it is, to make profits, to expand markets or whatever. So basically, this is a function of delegation, means delegating certain work to certain section of people. Coordinating. Now, what is coordinating? Coordinating is nothing but, bringing all these pearls which are scattered into one single string. Okay, it refers to harmonizing and integrating the activities of the individuals in the organization. That is what we call as coordinating. Again, when we are saying organizing, we are trying to group them, right, into different categories. When we are saying coordinating, we are trying to put all these activities into a single string. Okay, I'm moving little quick so that, yeah. Next is controlling. Oh, can you see a money plant there? It is supposed to be a money plant. Yeah. How is this money plant, girls? Yeah, how is this money plant? It is growing all over, isn't it? It is growing all over. Yes, it is growing all over. Yes, madam. Yes, it is growing. So, see, controlling, when you say control, it means you want that particular money plant to be moving into a particular direction. Then what is it you will do? If you want that money plant to go straight, obviously you will put a string there and then you will fix it to some nail or something, and the money plant will start moving towards that direction. That means to the goal which is predetermined. Similarly, even in organizations, okay, all the activities need to be controlled. Means whatever is the predetermined plan or predetermined goal which has been identified, all the activities should move towards that. If there is any deviation, okay, what will be done in case of money plant? Either it will be chopped off from sides so that it will move in the direction that it is supposed to be, or it will be tied up using a string, isn't it? Similarly, even in organization, what happens is the manager will, using this controlling function, he will see to it that the organization is moving in the desired direction. It should progress towards its goals. Okay, so for this, there are certain steps that they follow. Now, what are the steps that needs to be followed? First is establishing certain standards. Okay, if I say a particular person in the organization has to produce 10 units of some product, then that is standard. But let's say the person is actually performing, or he is able to manufacture only 8 units. Okay, that is, actual performance is 8, whereas standard is 10. That means somewhere he is lacking that two more products he needs to produce, right? So somewhere he is lacking. So the manager will identify such gaps between actuals and standards, and then they will try to control their behavior. They will see to it that certain amount of training is given. They will see to it that certain coaching is given, and then see to it that they again fall back to normal. Instead of 8, they will start producing 10 once they acquire that training. So this is nothing but controlling. Okay, that is establishing certain set standards, okay, measuring actual performance, finding the gap or variances between the two, and then corrective action being taken. What is the corrective action here? In case of plant, we are tying it in the desired direction. We are chopping off the sides. Whereas in the organization, if it is not moving in the desired direction, we will give certain training to them, right? Next is importance of controlling. Why is controlling important? Because ultimately all these functions should move towards the goal, right? So for efficient execution, for delegation, for coordination, for supervision, for efficiency and overall managerial performance, controlling is very important. Reporting. Now, what is reporting? Reporting is done at all levels of management, girls. Everywhere we need reporting. Now, why is this reporting important? See, if you have to file your income tax returns, okay, there are certain mandatory things that a company needs to do, right? That is, they should be having certain financial reports in the form of trading P&L balance sheet, right? Similarly, if an organization wants to do manpower planning, then they need to have the entire count, the head count of the employees. So all these this is nothing but information which is set in a proper format in the form of report. So when we say reporting, again, reporting is a very important function of management. That is to provide necessary information wherever it is required. Yeah. Objectives and purpose of reporting. It is very important means of communication. It communicates the actuals. Okay, whatever it is, like we have discussed income tax, right? We have discussed the Companies Act. It requires that certain documents should be there in the registered office. So these are being the legal requirements. They have to be made available. So these are some of the objectives of reporting. That is, develop public relations, basis to measure performance, means of communication, and satisfy interested parties. Last but not the least, that is budgeting. When we speak about budgeting, see, it involves coordinating of both financial and non-financial goals. When we say financial, it means, see, when you have the month starting, do you all plan for your budget? Do you think how much has to be spent? Or do your parents think of, how much has to be spent on groceries, on the housing rent, on transportation? Yes, we all do, isn't it? Similarly, even organizations, they plan in advance. They formalize certain plans in quantitative terms that, this is the amount of quantity that we are going to produce. This is the amount of quality that we are, like that. You have different types of budgets being made. Now, what are the different types? We have responsibility budgets, we have capital budgets, master budget, financial budgets. So it involves both financial and non-financial. When we say responsibility budgets, it will, okay, these are actually to judge the performance of individuals. Okay, these are important for the managers, right? So this is non-financial. So when we speak about budgets, it is both financial and non-financial. What are the different resources that you can, from where you can get these, this information? Like you have, yeah, ulligadalu adda kilo. Fine. Let's wait for him to move. Fine. Now let's see what are the different online resources we have. We have elibrarytelangana.blogspot.com. I'll be sharing this link in the chat box so that will be helpful for you all. And we have this karimnagarlibrary.blogspot. We are very thankful to Dr. Mohan Rao. He is from Kodumuru. He is the one who has created this blog. He is the librarian there. He has kept all the resources available for you all. So yes, with this I would like to conclude and say thank you.